The Nazca Lines are gigantic drawings etched on the desert floor more than 2,000 years ago. Images so huge, barely visible by air. Found in the heart of the Ica Desert of southern Peru, 280 miles south from Lima. They lie at the edge of the Western Andes, at 2,000 feet above sea level. They were only first discovered in the 1920s, when commercial flights began flying over this part of Peru, and pilots began reporting strange drawings on the desert below. And since then, the mystery of the line have captured the minds of the world. The Nazca geoglyphs vary greatly in terms of size, form, and complexity. The most fascinating are the zoomorphic designs. There are more than 70 of them in the Nazca Desert, a few which comprise the most famous of all the Nazca geoglyphs. The 440 feet long condor is one of the largest zoomorphic geoglyphs in the Nazca Desert. The spiral-tailed monkey is approximately 328 feet long, and similar monkey representations appear on Nazca ceramics. The hummingbird is one of the most famous of all the Nazca geoglyphs. Hummingbirds are among the smallest birds in the world. The geoglyph, however, is about 320 feet long and 216 feet wide. The dog is about 170 feet long, and it must represent the Peruvian hairless dog. The 150 feet long spider is big, well-defined, and easy to spot from the air. Like many Nazca geoglyphs, it's a single-line drawing. The line builders would have started with a sketch and enlarged the sketch with strings, pegs, and markers. Then, they have to move the top layer of stone to reveal the pattern. Another amazing thing is how the lines have lasted for so long. This is because of the weather conditions in the region. There is little rain, and also the stone absorbs so much heat in the day that they create a cushion of warm air above them, protecting them from the wind. But why were these lines made? What do they mean? The German scientist Maria Reich claims that the biomorphs like the spider and the monkey represent specific constellations in the night sky. Some constellations align perfectly with the Nazca biomorphs. A number of astronomers have done a very detailed analysis, and they approve that Maria Reich's theory that the constellations map onto the shapes on the desert floor just doesn't add up. Another theory says that the lines point to the direction from which the water is coming. Whenever the Nazcas found an underground water supply, they marked the spot with a huge geometric shape. A group of geologists tested that out, and although certain Nazca lines did point to underground streams, there was no clear evidence that even the majority of lines marked sources of groundwater. Most archaeologists believe the lines were sacred pathways on which the Nazcas performed religious ceremonies. So, walking on these lines, these sacred pathways, was part of a ritual procession that the Nazcas did as a way to communicate with their gods. That's why the Nazcas made their geoglyphs so big, because they wanted the gods to look down on them and see if they will remember. The most famous theory says that the lines were constructed to signal visitors from other planets and as a runway for their spaceships looking down at them from the air. Hypothesis reinforced by this astronaut figure etched into the hill. Some claim that this geoglyph was a depiction of an extraterrestrial visitor waving to passers-by. We may never know for sure what the Nazca lines were meant to say, but their magic lies in their obscurity. In 1994, the lines were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So come to Peru and enjoy this wonderful experience.